Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. Silence the pianos and with muffled drum, bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. Let aeroplanes circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message he is dead. Put crape bows round the white necks of the public doves, let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week and my Sunday rest. My noon, my midnight, my talk, my song, I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now, put out every one, pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to any good. It's W. H. Auden's Stop All the Clocks, Cut Off the Telephone, 1936. If you've actually seen the movie Four Weddings and a Funeral, you might recognize that poem. I thought I would start the little quick overview video of our poetry unit by reading a poem, and just going to do a quick walkthrough of the unit as I always do. This unit will go very fast because, of course, we've only got 3 weeks of the semester and then finals week left. I have tried to make this a fun unit. I know poetry can be stressful for people. People have often had bad experiences with poetry, or they just think, I don't get it, I don't understand it, why is it written the way it's written? And what I really want you to take out of this unit is an idea of how you can appreciate poetry, even if it's not your favorite genre. It is not my favorite genre. I have to really work at poetry, but I do appreciate it as an art form, and I try to always think of poetry as music. If you look at the text for any music you like written out, it's often written in a very poetic form. Of course, we just have Bob Dylan as the most recent winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. I believe the comment was that he had expanded poetic forms. And of course, he does not actually write poetry, he writes music, so it's interesting that he was recognized as a poet. I have included some fun, what I hope are fun links to people performing poetry. We are actually going to start our discussion this week. Sorry while my computer jumps around here. By looking at Poetry Slam, and I've put some links to some that I found really moving. Poetry Slam is, of course, performance. Often the poems are written by the performers. If you're into more traditional poetry, you can also, for this assignment, just search YouTube for poetry readings, and you'll find more traditional poems read often by other actors. And I want you to do your best to engage with this form. I recognize that not everybody in this class is an English major. Some of you may have never read poetry, may have never had a great experience with poetry, and I hope that this changes your perspective a little bit and gives you some tools to talk intelligently about poetry if the opportunity presents itself. You will not be writing an essay on poems. Instead, you're going to have a final exam, but don't panic. You're going to be asked to look at a poem, look at a short story, look at Bright Shiny Morning, and talk about those things. I will have the exam open for 4 days. You can take it anytime within those 4 days. So you pick what works for you between Saturday, May 20th and Tuesday, the 23rd. Once you start it, you'll have 3 hours to finish it. I want to know that you know enough about these genres to move forward. You can't use an NQA for this assignment, so again, plan ahead. Pick a time now when you're going to do this final exam. Tell your family to go away, turn off your phone, and just sit down and get it done. There are not a lot of required lecture materials for this unit. A couple of PowerPoints, some optional things that some of you might enjoy looking at. And then the readings each week are several pages, but within those page ranges, you do not have to read every poem. The book will talk about some feature of poetry, and then it will have 1 or 2 or 3 examples of that feature of poetry. You do not have to read them all. I want you to find the poems that interest you, that speak to you in some way, so you can sort of skim through the poetry in each reading section. But I want you to come away with some knowledge of literary terminology and how those things apply to poetry. So again, I'm really looking in this unit for you to come to an appreciation of poetry. I'm not going to quiz you on individual poems, lines of poetry. I'm not even going to quiz you or ask you necessarily to talk in depth about those literary terms. I want you to gain something here, to find a way to see poetry not as that great mystery or frustrating genre that it might have been for you in the past. I think everybody will find something in this unit that they like. As always, let me know if you have questions. We're going to move quickly, so stay on top of it.